Jo, and this is Maxima. We are Tibbles and Treats, and we're outside today. We are at the Bass Flinders Distillery in Dromana, Victoria.
On the Mornington Peninsula.
Yes.
And what are we doing here?
We are tasting some gin.
How many gins are we tasting?
8.
8 gins.
Tiny bit of each one. We're just waiting for it to arrive.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Shall we do a bit of a pan of the establishment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hey there, you two.
Hey.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Very good. Are we just sharing the 2 paddles?
Yes,
We are, yes.
Beautiful.
Oh, goodness.
Fantastic.
Oh goodness, lots of gin to be consumed.
Yes,
That's how we like it.
Looks amazing.
it does.
Well, obviously, welcome to Bass Flinders.
Thank you.
Have you been here before?
No, we haven't.
Oh, well, welcome. Newbies, I get to marinate your little mind, manipulate it.
We have tried one of the gins as part of the Garden Street Gin
Oh,
Club.
fantastic. The Orient Juice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big, racy, vibrant gin, that one.
It is.
Beautiful. Well, if you weren't aware, I don't know if Garden Street let you know in your package, but we're a grape-based distillery,
Yes.
Yeah.
which obviously is a bit of a point of difference.
Yeah.
Probably 95% of distilleries are grain-based.
Yeah.
So obviously that grape-based difference really allows for a more smooth, viscous gin. It doesn't really knock your head off as much as a grain-based gin.
Yeah.
And it just allows for more flavour, and you can kind of sit with it and sip it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we want to do, take advantage of the beautiful wine region that we're in on the peninsula.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the paddle one, which is the one with the fresh lime at the beginning there.
Yeah.
So this one is our gin soft and smooth. So this is kind of our most classic gin of the range, the closest thing to a London dry gin.
Right.
So it really focuses on the classic dry botanicals, obviously juniper berries. Of course, you need to have juniper to be a gin. Also, coriander seeds, of course, it's in most gins as well.
Yeah.
Angelica root, calamus root, and also a big burst of lime in there. So that lime really highlights that smooth, easygoing nature of a grape-based spirit. And it's just a classic dry gin.
Yeah.
It's great paired with your classic Indian tonic there. It was made for a reason, the old G&T, and old school London dry works really great with an Indian tonic there with that quinine.
Yeah.
Then next to it we have the fresh orange and the rosemary. This is our gin 10. So most of our gins range from about 6 to 8 botanicals in each gin, whereas this one is a bit elevated at the 10 botanical mark, hence the name gin 10.
Right.
So we call this one our wild and spicy gin. So it's quite aromatic. It really focuses on spice. So things like cardamom, pepperberry, and also cassia bark, which is like a cousin of cinnamon, just a bit more intense. It's got a big burst of orange zest there too to help round out the spice. So it's a big, bold flavoured gin, great in a Negroni because it has that spice and that citrus adds a nice legs for the Negroni. But also again great with classic Indian tonic. Whenever you've got a bit of spice in a gin, it's perfect with Indian tonic.
Yeah.
Then next to it we have the Dehydrated Lime. And so this is our Monsoon Gin. So this is where we started to get a little bit experimental with botanicals, branch out a little bit, get a bit crazy. So this one, the main botanical that you probably taste is the ginger. So it's a big burst of ginger. It's really exciting, very vibrant, and to really lean into that, we've got some lemongrass there too. And so rather than vapor infusing the botanicals like we do for most of our other gins, we let the lemongrass steep in the gin. So that's what gives it this slight tint, green tint there that you'll be able to see. So it just really elevates the experience of the gin. There's also a bit of ginseng in this one as well, so it really allows for a nice earthy base for the ginger and the lemongrass to shine. Then next to it we have our cerise, which you'll see at the end of this one there too. It looks like you've lost a raspberry there. I'll grab one for you. The win, what can you do? So this one is a great way to finish, just because it's slightly on the sweeter side. It's still technically a drier gin, but it does have a nice fruitiness to it. So if you've had a slow gin before, it's kind of akin to that. So rather than slow berries, we use fresh raspberries and cherries, sourced from just around the corner at Torello Farms. So that's what brings out that beautiful pink colour, again doing that steeping method, and a nice natural sweetness. There's also a bit of vanilla bean and orange zest in this one there too, and some hibiscus rosella. So it's a really beautiful, floral, fragrant, perfumey gin that I almost classify as a dessert gin, if there's such a beast. It's great, like drizzled over vanilla ice cream to be super indulgent. It's yum. If you did want to have it with tonic though, I'd definitely recommend the Elderflower tonic to lean into those floral sweeter notes. Also back to the Monsoon. This obviously you can enjoy with classic Indian tonic as well, but it seems a little sacrilegious to some, but I do like to mix our Monsoon with ginger beer. Again, to lean into those ginger notes and make it for a really refreshing, easygoing drink. On to our paddle 2. Again, any questions, just yell out. Paddle 2, we start with our dehydrated lemon. This is our Maritime Gin. So this is my favourite from the bunch because it's super easygoing. I like to call it my everyday gin, although I get a bit nervous saying that, but I'm sure we're among friends.
Don't worry,
here.
we understand.
Oh, good, I'm glad. So this one's like a sea breeze bottled up. Kind of in the same way that an oyster really captures the sea. This does the same kind of thing. So we literally forage for botanicals at local beaches, so down in Safety Beach, over in Flinders, and also Cape Schanck. So things like kelp, so seaweed, samphire, that cactus looking plant that you see on the beach, and also saltbush, that bluey grey bush that you see on every Australian beach. So that really allows for that seaside salty savoury note to come through. There's also a little bit of wild thyme in there, which really leans into that herbaceous quality. So it makes for a really versatile gin that you can almost have as a food gin. Compare it with food like you compare wine. Obviously seafood is a great one to go with it, as you can imagine, and also any sort of Japanese cuisine with that umami note. It works really well. Perfect neat, or even in a dirty martini with that kind of savoury note, and also with Mediterranean tonic. It's the perfect G&T, super refreshing, because Mediterranean tonic is already infused with herbs anyway, so it just leans into that savoury nature. Then we have our Orient next to it, as you would have tried already, so you may be well aware of that one. Focuses on the juicy mandarin, a bit of kaffir lime leaves, some Sichuan pepper, which has a numbing effect on the palate, and then also to lean into that full palate effect, we have jujubes, so red dates, and also sesame seeds, which have a lovely oily nature to it as well. It's bold, it's zingy, it's bright. You know you're alive drinking that gin, that's for sure. Again, great paired with classic Indian tonic. It's also great in a Negroni as well, with that spice and that sweet citrus. Then next to it we have our Angry Ant Gin with the lemon rind there. This one's very special for a number of reasons. The main reason being that all of the botanicals in this gin are native Australian botanicals, aside from the juniper berries, which, as you probably know, juniper berries just don't really grow well in Australia. So the core botanicals in this one are really earthy notes like mala mala and purple vetch. It's kind of very bushy. It kind of transports you to the outback. It's very earthy. It's a very earthy base for the star of the show to shine, which is the native Australian gravel ant pheromones.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit wild, this one. We're the first distillery in Australia to use ant pheromones as a botanical. I don't know what caused us to do so, but we were fascinated by it. So these ants actually live on the farm that we source all the other botanicals. So they actually feed off all of these botanicals. So their pheromones really release those and highlight those flavours. There's also a really beautiful kind of pink musk stick note, like the lolly. Really musky, really delicate, but it's got that lovely earthy base to carry through. It's slowly becoming one of my favourite gins. I drink it exclusively neat or on the rocks, with just a little bit of that lemon zest in there as well. It really opens up that perfumey note. Then again, we finish with the cerise, which I spoke about on the first paddle there. If you did want any tonic with the Angry Ant, I'd probably recommend either the Elderflower or the Mediterranean, as they're less heavy on the quinine, and because that quinine was a bit distracting for such delicate botanicals in that one. I recommend tasting them neat first. So again, just trying to coat the palate as much as you can. Have a little nose of them as well, be super pretentious, and then pop in your little botanicals, the little garnishes, a bit of ice, and then some tonic, and you're good to go.
Great.
Right.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And do you want to come round and put a face to the voice?
Why not? How exciting.
What's your
Thank you
name?
for having
What was
me.
your name?
My name's Angelica.
Angelica, just like the root.
Exactly. I'm in most gins. I don't know what mindset my mother was in when she was naming me, but that's another story. And I'm one of the gin masters here. I run the master class upstairs, where you can make your own bespoke gin.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
I'll have to give it a go, make our own gin one day.
We'd love to have you there. Beautiful.
So it's Maximo and Joe, pleased to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Any questions, please just yell out. It's so lovely to have you here.
Okay, thank you.
And for an
Enjoy.
experience, thanks so much.
You betcha. Bit of Angry Ant.
Okay.
Oh, where do we start?
Let's start at the beginning, shall we?
Yes, why not?
We do have a little card here.
We do.
Um,
So what are we tasting?
it starts.
Gin. It just says gin. Smooth and soft.
We could
Angelica root,
we could be here a long
licorice,
time.
lemon myrtle and lime.
Oh, that's quite different.
Is it?
Gonna have to share glasses. Different smell, isn't it?
It is. We're outside, so it's like some of the smell might be carried away, but that's quite a sweet smell, isn't it?
I think it is the lime, maybe.
Is it?
Yeah. Even though lime is not sweet.
Citrusy, sweet. We're gonna. No, I think we need to taste it before we put the accoutrements in.
It's different, isn't it? There's a weird finish.
It is. It's quite oily, I think. Sort of an oily, smooth, fruity, peppery, a little bit of pepper.
Oh, the finish is really interesting. It keeps developing.
It's quite smooth, isn't it?
Well, every gin is so different, but also so amazing.
I know. Just to think a few different herbs and spices make such a difference.
Yeah. Amazing.
Nice, isn't it?
It is nice,
smooth.
Yeah. Shall we do
I think so.
this and ice?
I think we won't have any gin left, so I think
just sipping it.
Perhaps one cube and maybe some premium Indian tonic water.
Yeah, let's add a dash.
A dash?
Yeah.
I think you need to do the honours, Joe.
These are not full serves. Don't worry about us. We're fine.
Not even a quarter serve.
No. I do like that.
It's cut down the nose a fair bit.
That finish is still really interesting, though. Really interesting.
It's
Is it a faint hint of licorice?
could be. I think so.
I'm not a fan of licorice, but when you just get like a...
It hasn't really gone sort of that milky.
No. Nice.
It's very nice.
Shall we move on?
We're going to leave that.
Yeah, we're just going to leave it.
Are we?
Yeah. Well, do we want the video to be 2 hours long?
No, we don't.
No, we don't, do we?
Okay.
Neither do you, do you?
No, I have to keep an eye and make sure that the camera doesn't switch off. So the next one is a Monsoon Gin. It's got an eastern twist. So ginger, ginseng, lemongrass, bold, earthy, dry, extremely
Which
unique.
one are you reading?
The Gin 10.
I was going to say, don't smell any of that.
I made a mistake. Gin 10, that's the one with 10
botanicals.
10 botanicals.
Yeah.
So cardamom, cassia bank, and native pepperberry.
Yeah,
orange zest.
It's more spicy.
Spicy.
Have a little smell.
It's quite more delicate than the gin.
It's more kind of spicy and peppery, I think.
It's not quite as aromatic as that.
Yes, yes.
That's a smooth, delicate, isn't it? It's got a bit of pepper.
Oh, it is peppery.
Isn't it?
It is peppery.
Bit peppery, but it's initially smooth, isn't it? That's the Gin 10.
Yes. Cardamom, pepperberry.
That's a pepperberry.
Leaves a little tingle on your tongue.
It does. It does.
Yes.
It's quite nice.
It is nice.
I liked it. I think
We're going to put the rosemary and orange in it. Obviously, we're not giving it a super long time to
a cube of ice.
develop.
And I can't remember what Angelica said was best paired with this. Was it the Mediterranean?
It says on here. It says Indian tonic.
Indian tonic.
Which is the one I've got here.
You've got right. Okay.
Good job, we've got notes.
There was a lot of information.
There was a lot of information. Yeah.
She conveyed in a short period of time.
Yes. We are on a road here, so
Yeah, it's quite noisy.
Some noisy car. We're generally actually out in the country.
We are.
We're on the edge in an industrial estate, but that way all we can see are hills.
In a coastal sort of town on
Yes.
the Mornington Peninsula, which is the outside of Melbourne. They do let us out on occasion, don't they?
To me, that has rounded off the flavours quite nicely. The tingle on the tongue is gone, and it's just sort of helped the flavours develop.
It's still there a bit. It's certainly much smoother, much more mellow.
Yes.
Some of the pepperiness has disappeared.
Yes. Yeah. So if you like that pepperiness, definitely one to have neat or with a splash of tonic.
Just a splash.
Yeah.
And we're just having a very small splash. That's very, very nice.
Very
That's very
interesting.
nice. I think the gin is my favourite so far.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so far.
Yeah.
How we're going to choose a favourite by the time we finish day, I don't know.
I think we do have to perhaps make a purchase of 1 or 2 gins. I think
Might be polite to.
might be polite.
Okay, so this next one is the
Maybe your Christmas present.
Monsoon Gin. So it does have a slight yellowish tinge.
Yes.
From the
that
lemongrass.
Lemongrass. Yes.
Yep.
So what do the tasting notes say?
Oh yeah. You can smell it.
Ginger, ginseng, lemongrass. Indian tonic.
You can taste the lemon, smell the lemongrass.
You really can. It's quite citrusy, lemongrassy. It's as aromatic, if not even more than the first one, the gin.
Yeah, but quite different.
Quite different?
Yeah. Ooh.
Are you a bit cool or?
No, that was not a shiver. That was a like, wow. That's a flavour pop. That's a big flavour pop. Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
It is really nice.
I'm gonna have another listen.
Monsoon Gin. Yes.
Definitely the pepperberry. There's juniper. I think is there ginger? And ginseng.
Ginger, ginseng,
Lemongrass. I can certainly taste all those combinations in there for sure.
Yeah. So it says we can either have it with the Indian tonic or the ginger beer.
Let's put a dried lime in and an ice cube. Let's be bold and try the ginger beer.
Yes. So when we got our Orient Gin in the Garden Street Gin box, it did suggest to try it with the ginger beer, which came in the box, and we completely forgot to.
We did.
So we had thought about doing an addendum to that video, but we haven't got round to it yet.
No, maybe we can.
Maybe
we can cover that off in this video.
In this video, yeah.
Yes.
Woo! There's a lot of ginger beer taste.
Is that smell you mean?
Oh, well, smell, yeah.
Yeah.
When I taste that, I sort of taste two different things at the same time.
Yeah?
Yeah, really interesting.
The ginger and
The ginger beer, and then
the gin.
something in the gin is coming through. You don't get that.
Certainly smell the ginger beer, don't
Yes, yes. Just a touch of ginger beer I would suggest putting in there. And I sort of feel, I know this sounds odd, but I sort of feel the ginger beer on the top of my mouth and the gin on the bottom.
you? Yeah, I think so.
Is that odd?
It's certainly the ginger beer aftertaste is quite sharp and peppery, isn't it?
Yes.
And it just
Yeah.
builds.
Yep.
That's interesting. Is this a new experience for you? We're gonna have to buy some
Well, it's a new
Fever Tree ginger beer.
it's a new experience for sure. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's quite different, isn't it?
I don't know if I'd switch from tonic to ginger beer, but as something different, why not?
It's two distinct flavors. It's the
It is.
it's maybe the gin at the start and the ginger beer, like, you know, it's quite sort of spicy with the ginger, and it sort of builds and keeps going. That would be quite a refreshing drink on a very hot summer's day, wouldn't it? Which this isn't. It's
No.
a coolish summer's day.
Trying to be warm, but not quite there.
Right. So we've got our last one on the first
which
paddle.
he sort of
which
described
is
as a dessert. Cerise.
cerise,
Yes.
not chorizo,
No.
not chorizo sausage. No.
Is not spelled at all the same way. Cerise gin. A pink gin. So cerise is like a pink colour.
Is it? Can't take some people anywhere, can we?
Well, you know, dry gin, locally sourced cherries and raspberries. Enjoy with the elderflower tonic. Garnished with berries, cherries, or
That's
lime.
very fruity. Very.
Our raspberry rolled off,
It did.
so we won't have that.
We can have half a raspberry.
I think it's a freeze-dried raspberry, so there's no really cutting that in half. Did you taste that?
Some might have slipped.
I haven't even smelled it.
Between
and he's tasted
my,
it. You know what though? I need a palate cleanser after
Between
the
my
ginger.
lips. That's quite interesting. It's quite a fruity nose, isn't it?
Ooh.
Quite fruity.
Yes, definitely sweet smelling.
It is. And it's sweet tasting with the with a bit of pepperiness in the finish.
Mmm. Oh God, I love that.
You like that? That would be great over like vanilla ice cream.
Because that's what she said, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I want to waste it over ice cream.
Don't you? Would you have it on the rocks? It's sort of almost a dessert sort of wine, isn't it? I think you've had most of it.
Oh no, I didn't.
I think you did.
No, it must have been a smaller shop. I think you had some before I even smelt it. I don't think this one's going to reach the tonic.
I think we'll put a very little splash of tonic in there.
There's no point. Honestly, what does it say? Elderflower tonic, I think.
Right.
As the elderflower tonic is already open, it would be rude not to, but...
That's right. That's not much tonic, is it?
No, because there's not much gin there.
No. Nice.
It is fruity. It's a nice, refreshing fruity. Definitely is like a dessert.
With the elderflower, that's really nicely balanced. I think it adds
that's
to
it's really nice with the elderflower
yeah,
actually.
sort of a bit more sweetness and
Mind
maybe.
you, we were knocking it back neat pretty easily as well, weren't we?
We were, yeah. I could easily have that on the rocks. Might as well finish that one. So that's your favourite, is it?
It's just quite different to anything I've had before.
Yeah. So that's our first.
That's our first paddle.
Gone.
Well, no, that's still. That's our first paddle tasted.
Yes. So out of that paddle, what would you say were your two favourite ones? If you had to, if I said, Joe, pick one or two. The Gin 10. What happened about cleansing your palate?
It's got ginger beer in there. That's super strong tasting. The ginger
Is
beer
it?
now. Yeah.
Yeah. The first one, the gin.
Maybe.
You definitely get the.
Yeah, I'd consider getting that.
Yeah. Okay. So that is our first panel gone, and I might stop the video and restart with the second panel.
Okay.
So this is part 2. Paddle 2.
Paddle 2.
Yes.
At the Bass Flinders Distillery.
Indeed.
So, got a little card to remember all the information because it's hard to take in when she tells you everything.
It is.
So we've got 4 here. Our first one is going to be the Maritime Gin.
Yes.
And it's got
it's a salty sort of
sea
sort of
local sea-themed botanicals like kelp.
So this salty citrus gin uses botanicals that reflect our natural home, including locally foraged kelp, which is seaweed, samphire, I don't know what that is, coastal saltbush, wattle seed, currant bush, and distilled vine leaves.
It has a fresh sort of.
Have you had a taste?
No, sorry. I may have rested my lips on it while I was smelling. It did not taste.
It's quite a delicate smell, isn't it?
Yes.
I guess citrusy, fruity.
It's a sort of, I know I can sort of smell like that fresh sort of sea smell of it.
Sort of juniper. You can smell the juniper.
Yeah, it's quite delicate. I think we need to
give it a go.
It does have that. It does take a little bit like, you know, when you go to the beach and you smell like the fresh sea?
Yeah.
It does sort of taste a bit like that.
I can taste maybe licorice type aftertaste. It is sort of smooth and oily and salty, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's the salt. There's some.
Not quite like that.
Not quite sure.
Yeah?
I'm not quite sure.
It's certainly a smooth, mellow. It's not like as powerful as the Gin 10.
I don't know if this is a very big slice for a very small amount of gin. I might break it in half, put it in a bit better. That didn't work well, did it?
Wow, ice is melting.
It is.
And what does it say to have this with? Mediterranean.
Yeah, the blue one.
So the blue one.
So we have 4 bottles of Fever Tree mixers here.
All right.
It's quite different.
With the tonic.
Taste it. It does still taste quite fresh.
The aroma's been cut down a lot.
Like sometimes the others are sweet or peppery, but that is, I don't really taste that so much in that one at all.
I think if anything, the saltiness has been reduced. It's quite a delicate, mild
Yes, I think so.
gin,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. I think she described this as an everyday gin.
It is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
Possibly maybe my least favourite so far.
Yeah, perhaps it's.
Yeah, but it's so hard. So
Perhaps
hard.
the other gins are quite more powerful in the
Yes.
the aroma and the palate. I think in comparison.
Alright, the next one is the Orient Gin, which we've already reviewed, so
Yes.
we might whip on through this one.
Yeah. And maybe try it with some ginger beer.
I'm going to go have you on the sip and smell all in one.
Okay.
It's nice though, I do like that one.
It's
We've already reviewed it,
I
so
know,
you don't
it's
need
quite
to
nice.
linger.
It's,
It is nice, I do like that one.
That's a nice gin.
It is nice. So
It is
do
a
we
nice
want to
gin.
try it with the ginger beer now?
Oh, look, I think so, and I think
it will
that'll
give us
be our
doing that review separately.
addendum. Yes.
So I just want to splash because I don't know how you can see how much gin there is.
What
There's
about,
not
what about
much.
some ice?
Okay.
Just a splash. That is a splash.
It is splash. Yeah. For me, I think the ginger beer is too much for a gin.
Is it?
I think it is.
It competes in flavour.
Just overpowers it.
Oh, I can smell the ginger beer
Yes,
again.
exactly.
Certainly changed it a lot. It's smoother.
I, for one, am going to be sticking with the tonic, not switching to the ginger beer.
It's yeah, I don't.
I think it drowns the taste.
I think the ginger in the ginger beer is quite long
It is.
lasting and long tasting.
It's so long that I need a water to
Cleanse your palate. Indeed.
Okay.
So the next one should be intriguing.
Ooh, this is the Angry Ant.
The Angry Ant gin. So what is it in this one?
Ant pheromones. That's all I remember her saying.
Made using native botanicals hand forged in Western Australia, including currant bush, sandalwood, nuts, native lemongrass, purple vetch, and gravel ant pheromones.
I don't even know what it smells of.
Does it smell of gin?
No, I wouldn't. Not your typical gin, no. But like, that's a weird question to ask. Does it smell like gin? Because every gin smells
I
different.
don't know what it smells like.
No, I don't know either. It's one of these things. Sandalwood, lemongrass, native lemongrass. So is that more stronger
it's
or
quite
milder?
Fruity and clean smelling, like delicate cut grass or something.
Yeah. I actually don't know what most of those botanicals would taste like because they're so unusual. And so I can't say. What do you think?
That's a really nice, smooth, creamy taste with just a hint of pepper at the end. Yeah, and it's got quite a long finish.
A little bit went down the wrong way then.
That's not good.
It was creamy in my mouth. Creamy on the palate.
Creamy, yeah. That's quite nice.
I need to.
So we'll maybe have a brief pause.
Okay.
So, have you recovered, Joe?
Yes. A little tickle in my throat. Went down the wrong way. So it is creamy on the palate and
Quite smooth, quite delicate.
it's interesting in the glass.
It's quite sort of oily and sort of viscose, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah, it is a little bit.
It doesn't look like a normal spirit. It looks very intriguing.
So it's ant pheromones.
Yeah, that's what it could be. You're having another sip. So Indian tonic, it says, best to be had with.
Yeah.
There's not much left of that. Obviously, you're
No, I just
enjoying that.
only my second sip. I just wanted to taste it without, like, coughing. It is creamy
Yeah.
and hard to describe
It is.
because we have never tasted those botanicals
No,
before.
but that's quite nice.
It's interesting,
isn't it?
really
So
interesting.
there's some.
Do you think we overuse the word interesting?
No, I don't think so. It'd be interesting if we did that. Pour the tonic water before.
Ice?
Yes, ice. That might be too much.
It's
hard.
It's
I
hard
know.
to pour a little splash when it's look,
I know.
the lemon rind is all fizzing.
Is it?
Is that releasing its juices?
It's juices. It's natural oils, you mean?
Oils.
Yes. Be careful, it might go down the wrong way again.
To me, it tastes very similar, but just not as strong.
Yeah?
Yep. I don't think it's.
It's still got the same sort of aroma, isn't it?
Yes, it's where sometimes it can change quite a bit when you put the tonic in. I think that stayed very same.
And that's a nice gin and tonic, isn't it? It's really nicely. It comes together very nicely balanced, I think. Quite smooth, quite mild, not very sort of heavy at all, is it? Quite refreshing.
Really interesting.
It is. On to our last
Our
one.
last one, the cerise gin.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Is this one, you would imagine it would be sweet?
yeah, that's the sweet one. I think we had that in the previous.
What? It's the same.
Hey?
It's the same.
It is.
Ah, we don't need to review it then.
No.
Cheers. All right, we're done.
We're done. Well, we've still got a little bit more to
We'll
go.
just sit here. You don't want to watch us spending another half an hour just sipping away at gin.
And
do you?
enjoying the other ones. So if I said to you, Joe, which two gins are we going to buy today?
Two.
Two from the.
I would say we've already got this, and that was my least favourite.
Right.
That's the same as that, so
Yeah.
that narrows it down to 4.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
I think
no,
so.
Well, 5 actually,
Yeah.
because that's yeah.
I think that Gin 10 or the Monsoon were both quite nice, and I think that would be nice as more of a.
We're not buying 3 bottles.
No,
We should only buy 1.
we should. We could stretch it to 2. So which has been your favourite? Is it the Monsoon, the Gin 10, or the Gin? The Gin was quite nice.
I think we might have to put it in the comments because I want to sit here for another half an hour and try them all again.
And decide, or maybe we'll come back and say this is our final decision.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. So Joe, have we made a final determination?
We have.
And what's it to be? What are we going to walk home with?
It's going to 2 of them.
2, yes.
The Gin 10
Yes.
and the Angry Ant.
Angry Ant. Yes.
So Angry Ant is just really quite unusual.
It is.
More of a
Special.
gin.
Not an everyday gin.
No. Gin 10, more of an everyday gin.
I think so.
Yeah.
Both quite nice. And some of the others were very nice as well. And
It's hard to cut it down.
And you can see we've almost polished them all off.
Almost, yes, just a little bit. Some of these have just got tonic in them now. So.
They have.
Yeah.
So we've really enjoyed this
Yes.
tasting experience.
We got out of the house.
Tasting 7 gins in one
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Going to a distillery and also sitting in some nice sunshine
Yes,
on
it's
an
actually-
early summer's day. Quite pleasant.
It's just starting to feel warm.
Now, I hope you've liked this video. If so, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll endeavour to do more videos,
Soon.
both at home
Yes.
and away.
Yes.
Very soon.
We have plans for summer.
We do. And on that note,
cheers.
You said you wanted to keep going. I gave you choices.
So this one is our apple and rhubarb Negroni. So we
Right.
use our gin 10 for these ones, and we barrel age them just to make them more smoother, so they're not like a hit in the face like most Negronis are. This one's super sweet. It's probably our favourite.
and what is Negroni? Is that sort of gin that's I guess aged with other botanicals and other ingredients?
Yeah, so it's more of like, it's like turning a gin into like a liqueur.
Right.
Again, I'm not too all over the Negroni thing.
You just like the taste?
I just yeah, and then on this one, it's like more of a Jaffa style inspired taste, so it's chalk orange.
Okay.
So yeah, enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So
Do
this
one at a
is-
time?
Yeah. So the distillery Bass Flinders were kind enough to offer us
Yes.
complimentary Negronis. So we've added this as an addendum to our mega review. So it's going to be a mega review.
Or a separate one?
Or could very well be.
Come on then.
It smells quite.
Oh, I can't wait for you. I'll smell this one.
Quite. It's like a port.
Yes, it has that sort of depth of smell, doesn't it? This one does anyway. I haven't tasted yet.
That's quite sweet.
She said it was sweet, yeah. Yes, it is.
Quite sweet. It's sort of
it's got more body.
It has, yeah. It's
That's what it is.
more port-like, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was very nice. That was quite sweet. So you've had a taste of that.
Yeah. You mean?
It's sort of a cherry flavour. That one. Sort of a cherry liqueur type flavour, isn't it? This is the Jaffa.
Yeah, chocolate orange. Yes. It is a sort of cherryish.
It is, isn't it? Out of the two, I think I like the berry one.
This one?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's try again.
It's more sort of a toffee choc orange, isn't it? I think they're both after dinner.
You get the flavour.
Liqueurs?
You get the flavour afterwards.
You do.
The finish. Sorry, the finish.
Yeah, it's quite.
It's
quite-
chocolate and orange. It sort of separates into two flavours, and
It
you
does.
can taste it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's quite. It's quite nice. You have the rest because I'm
Thank
driving.
you. I will. I don't mind that one actually.
Negroni.
It's nice.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice. You could sprinkle that on some ice cream as well, couldn't you?
You could.
So I think the berry one was my favourite.
I actually think I prefer that one.
Do you?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
More of an
There's something-
after
there's
dinner.
something, yeah, something else I can taste in this.
The gin.
Drinking this way too fast. Very nice.
You've made short work of those.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bass and Flinders.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And on that note, we might actually buy a Negroni.
Oh my god. Gonna go broke.
Oh, slowly.
Well, okay.
We've
That's
got
it for now.
and we've got nothing to cheer with because it's all gone.
It's all gone. Whoops.
It's all gone.
This was just a little quick, unexpected addition.
Indeed.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.